There's a storm brewing in the boxing world. Gervonta "Tank" Davis has once again set the internet ablaze after new training footage surfaced, and what fans are seeing is nothing short of terrifying. The undefeated knockout artist looks stronger, faster, and meaner than ever before, a fighter reborn. Every punch, every movement in that gym footage screams power and precision. And if this version of Tank is what Jake Paul is stepping into the ring against, then we might be witnessing the calm before one of the most violent storms in modern boxing history. For years, Davis has been known as one of the most explosive punchers in the sport. A man whose calm, quiet demeanor hides a beast capable of ending fights in seconds. But this time, something's different. This isn't the usual Davis who relies on timing and accuracy. This is a new, evolved predator. The muscles are denser, the stance heavier, the energy darker. Fans say this might be the most dangerous version of Gervonta Davis we've ever seen. A man sculpted not for the spotlight, but for destruction. When asked about what drives him, Davis gave a glimpse into the mind behind the menace. He admitted, "My biggest fear? Embarrassment. I never want to get embarrassed. Not doing my job, that's what haunts me." Those words carry more weight than they seem. It's not fear of losing, it's fear of not being perfect. Tank doesn't measure himself against opponents. He measures himself against failure. That hunger, that paranoia, is what keeps him unstoppable. He said it himself, "Skill for skill, none of these guys can mess with me. Nobody." And yet, even as Davis perfects his craft, critics can't stop talking about the elephant in the room, or rather, the giant. Jake Paul, at 6'1" and 190 pounds, towers over the 5'5" lightweight champion. The weight gap is enormous. But Davis isn't fazed. In his mind, skill conquers size every time. He even laughed off the idea of a massive opponent taking him down. "It doesn't matter how big he is," Davis said. "If he doesn't know how to fight, I can handle him. Skill beats size every time." He wasn't bluffing either. When asked if a 300-pound man with no experience could beat him in a fight, Davis didn't hesitate. "No way," he said. "I'm whooping that ass." It wasn't arrogance, it was pure conviction. The kind that only comes from a fighter who's seen everything the ring can throw at him. But not everyone is convinced. Critics argue that Tank is simply too small to overcome Jake Paul's natural size advantage. One analyst bluntly stated, "We have weight classes for a reason." And he's not wrong. Jake Paul has been sparring and fighting against men who weigh close to 200 pounds. Davis, on the other hand, lives in the 135 to 140 range. That's a 60 to 70 pound difference on fight night. And physics, as they say, doesn't lie. Yet, size alone doesn't win fights. Eddie Chambers, a respected former heavyweight, warned Jake Paul not to underestimate Tank. "If you're not a monster yourself, Tank will make you look bad," he said. "He's got ring IQ. He knows the game inside and out. There's nothing Jake Paul can do aside from making it ugly. Grabbing him, holding him, maybe even throwing him to the ground. But in a boxing match, Tank will be too fast, too sharp, too damn good." That's the paradox of this fight. Raw size versus refined skill. Jake Paul may walk into the ring as the bigger man, but Davis will enter as the better boxer, the master of controlled violence. And when power meets precision, the outcome can be unpredictable. The debate rages on. Some fans compare this potential fight to the Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor bout. They argue that even though Conor was bigger, Mayweather's technical brilliance neutralized him. McGregor, despite his 180-pound frame, couldn't put Floyd down. He lasted 12 rounds, yes, but he never came close to victory. That's what Davis's supporters point to. The idea that superior skill makes giants fall. Still, others aren't convinced. Jake Paul has proven time and time again that he's not just a YouTuber playing boxer. He's beaten MMA champions, survived wars, and shown resilience that surprises even his critics. As one fan put it, Jake gets punched in the face by 200-pound dudes weekly. A 135-pound puncher isn't going to faze him. But boxing history has always thrived on defying logic. In 2009, David Haye, weighing just 217 pounds, defeated the 7-foot, 316-pound Nikolai Valuev, one of the biggest men to ever step in the ring. Haye didn't win by brute strength. He won through movement, timing, and heart. He made the giant miss, then made him pay. It was a perfect David versus Goliath moment, and one that echoes eerily close to what Davis might attempt against Jake Paul. The comparison isn't perfect, but the lesson is clear. Skill can close even the widest of gaps. If Davis can use his speed and precision like Hay did, he could shock the world, again. Meanwhile, Jake Paul continues to talk big. At the press conference, he made his stance clear. "I think my reach, my size, that's what's going to keep him away. There's holes in his defense that people haven't exposed." Jake spoke with confidence, but also a rare hint of respect. He acknowledged that Tank is one of the best, saying, "He's elevating me to a new height. I'm more locked in than ever." But in typical Jake Paul fashion, that humility didn't last long. In another moment, he couldn't resist firing back. "He's a 5 feet 8 inches little peon," Jake snapped. "If we were in the streets, I'd grab him and smack him upside the head. People forget. I'm a real killer. This YouTube stuff? Disney. That's behind me. I'm beating the best of the best." It was the kind of trash talk that fuels the fire. Confident, cocky, and calculated to get under Davis's skin. Yet Tank remained unbothered, letting his fists do the talking through brutal training clips that seemed to echo one message loud and clear. Talk all you want, but when the bell rings, the truth comes out. As fight night approaches, the numbers don't lie. Jake Paul is expected to weigh around 215 pounds once rehydrated. Davis, maybe 150. That's a 65-pound difference. An enormous gap in a sport where even 10 pounds can separate divisions. Many purists call the fight unsafe, even ridiculous. "There are weight classes for a reason," one analyst said. "This kind of matchup blurs the line between spectacle and sport." Boxing purists want Davis chasing titles in his division, not chasing clout in celebrity matchups. As one analyst put it, Gervonta's the #1 lightweight in the world. Why risk that legacy for an exhibition fight? And yet, there's another side to the story. The modern boxing landscape has changed. It's no longer just about belts and rankings. It's about moments, visibility, and the bag. As one commentator put it bluntly, if Tank's thinking about retiring, why not get the bag and walk away? Nothing wrong with that. It's a fair point. For Davis, this fight could be both a payday and a statement. A way to prove that skill can still triumph over spectacle. For Jake, it's validation. Proof that he belongs among the elite, that he's not just a celebrity in gloves. Aiden Ross, the popular streamer, is one of Jake's loudest supporters. He insists Jake will shock the world. "Y'all don't understand boxing," he said. "Jake's improving every fight. He's not just a YouTuber anymore." And Jake himself has gone to great lengths to shut down his doubters, even agreeing to random USADA drug tests to prove he's clean. "For all you Karens accusing me of steroids," Jake laughed, "I'm clean as a whistle. Random drug tests, anytime, anywhere. No excuses." The build-up is unlike anything the sport has seen. Two completely different worlds colliding, one born from the streets of Baltimore, the other from the spotlight of YouTube. One fueled by legacy, the other by reinvention. And that's what makes this fight so electrifying. It's not just about who's stronger or faster, it's about what each man represents. For Gervonta Davis, this is about preserving the purity of boxing, proving that mastery still beats muscle. For Jake Paul, it's about breaking through the final barrier, showing that discipline and obsession can transform anyone into a real fighter. So, as the lights dim and the crowd roars, one question remains. Will skill destroy size once again, or will Jake Paul pull off the unthinkable? Because when the bell rings, all the talk, all the predictions, and all the excuses fade away. There will be no YouTube edits, no hype, no safety net. Just two men, one ring, and the truth. And that's what makes boxing beautiful. Drop your thoughts below. Do you believe Gervonta "Tank" Davis can overcome the odds? Or will Jake Paul shock the world once more?